Hello friends and welcome back to my channel, and in this video we are going to discuss how to create a personal website using this code.org. So now let's begin. So the first one, it will be the header itself, where we are going to create, let's give bar header. Okay, so now here you can just give your name. So I'll be giving here coding duty. In the next, let's choose a paragraph tag or a p tag. This is to give your designation. So as you are a student, you can write student of class 8. Okay, that's all. So now let's first make this look beautiful. For that, what you have to do, you have to go to the header, click here, give header. Now what you have to do, you have to give a color, right? Let's first give a background color, which is to be blue. Let's take it to be sky blue. Now I'm going to give the padding, which is to be 20px. Okay, got it. Now let's just share it and just see how it looks like. Okay, this is my Google. Okay, so now here we have the padding. Then the next thing that we are going to give is, let's go here and choose the tags like H1 and H3, so that would be much more easier for us to say it. So now let's give here H1 and here let's give H3. Okay, so now these are okay. Let's give a color which is said to be white. Okay, let's see how it looks like. It looks good. Now let's move it to the center. So what you have to do, you can just give text align center. Okay, here on this side we need an image as well. For that you have to go to Google and just choose a photo passport size. Okay, so then you will get so many images of any persons. You can choose anyone, because this I am choosing because I don't want to choose my image, so that's the reason. So if you want to choose your image, then definitely you can do that, no worries on that. Okay, so now whichever is the one that is perfect for you, you can definitely choose that. I'll choose with a student. Okay, and let's choose this. Let's save the image as, like, let's choose passport, or let's give img. Okay, so now automatically coming here, you have to add this image that you have downloaded. So let's give upload, go to downloads and choose this img. So now here in this header, you have to choose that image img src is equals to. Now let's give an alternative text which should be equal to like student image. Now let's set the width, which is set to be 100. Okay, so now let's give here like img float left. Got it? So now here you have the image, your name, and then your designation. Okay, got it? So if you have anything more, you can add that. Let's give here to be traveler loves drawing images. So all what you need, you can directly write them here. Okay, So now let's move on to the next section, which is known as the section itself, right? So let's give bar section. So here the first one will be the navigational bar. Okay, bar now. So here you are going to give a class which is to be said to be now1. Okay, so this is your now, and inside which you are going to give your academic details. Okay, so here in this H3 tag you can directly give academic details. Now below you can use a P tag and you can give scored 97% marks in grade 3. So now if you want it to be a unordered list, you can directly give it to be unordered list, so that you will be able to get like what? You will be able to get it. We don't need the P tag, right? We can directly give bar li. So that is perfectly okay. Got it? So similarly, I'll be copying the same thing below also, because if you have more contents, you can directly give that. Okay? So this is your academic details. So the next one is your nav, and let's choose a class to be nav2. Okay? And now let's give bar now. Here we are going to give the H3 details, which is to be known as the languages node, which means you have to give your languages that you know. Okay, so let's give here English, French, German, and the last one can be Arabic. Okay, so all these are the languages that is known to you. Now let's see what happens here. Here you can see that you have to give a proper color, right? For that, what you have to do is, let's give now that floats onto the left side itself. Okay, okay, so this is okay right now. Now let's give a color. So for if you are using a class, you have to give dot now1. Okay, inside which you have to give a background color. Let's choose it to be white smoke, and let's set the width, which is to be like 20%. Let's see how this looks like. Okay, I gave 20%, but still it's the full itself. Okay, now let's give a padding, which is like 30px. Okay, so now this is okay. Now again we have to give the shadow. Okay, then it will be looking good. For that, let's first do. So now let's give the box shadow like we have given for the last one. So here in the section you need a top one, right? So let's give like inside the section we can directly give something like padding 5px. Okay, so now this looks good. let's directly save it and refresh it, and you can see that now this looks good. Okay, so now let's do this for the nav2. So let's give nav2. First I'm going to give the box shadow. Now let's set the width, which is again set to be 20%. Let's give the padding, which is 30 px. Okay, so now let's give a background color, which is set to be Alice blue. Okay, so now let's see how it looks like. Okay, but there is no difference between the first one and the second one, right? Because there is no gap. For that, what you can do is you can directly give padding top, which is 5 px. Okay, it's moving topwards, right? So now let's try to give the margin top, which is set to be 10 px. Just save it, and now let's see how it looks like. Okay, so now this looks good on this side. So the next thing what we are going to do is, first let's remove this one, as well as let's give a title, which is set to be the personal bio or your personal website. Okay, now let's see this, how it looks like. This looks good. So onto the right side, let's give the details. Okay, so for that you have to just take another one known as the article, and let's give here like bar article. Got it? So inside this article you are going to give it. So now let's give the heading, which is in the h3 tag, to be like, let's give it to be about me. Okay, so here in the paragraph you can directly copy and paste the details. From here the Google, I am going to take about a girl, paragraph, so now let's see how you can write. Or composition about myself is what we'll take, because about me is not coming. So let's say like composition about a girl So now I think we'll be able to get that. Okay, so these things I'll be directly copying it. So as a student, if you want, you can directly write it, but the thing is that it's coming below, right? Because we didn't give any other thing. So let's first do that. Okay, let's give it in the CSS. So go to CSS. Here in the article, first let's give float, right? Okay, the next thing is the width. Okay, for you guys to see, I did this. Let's give width, which is equals to 80%. Now let's give a background color, which is set to be ancient white. Let's see what is happening. It is moving here. But the background color has not yet come. Now let's see. Okay, it's like 80%. Let's save it to 70%. Let's again refresh it here. Okay, but it's not moving upward, right? Let's see here whether you have given float left. No, that's the reason. So again, let's give here as well float left. Okay, this we no need to give, right? Okay, again it should be moving upward. So what you can give? You can give padding top, which is said to be minus 40 px. Just see whether it's moving upward. Yes, it's moving. So now let's give minus 200. Just try to give. Save. No, it's not moving. So this idea is not enough for us. Let's give float left. Itself, or in the now we'll directly give float left. That will be okay, I think. Inside the now, let's give float left. The problem is with the languages known, right? Let's try to refresh it and just see. Okay, it's coming here. After this, let's give a BR. This now. Okay, these two now, what we can do is, we can directly put it inside a simple now. Okay, this is not about a class or anything, but directly you can put it, so that now our problem will be solved. Okay, so here you have a now, and here you have closed it, right? This is now, this is now. Or let's give it inside a do. Okay, that is also used for this. Let's just copy it. Okay, now again let's use something called now, and let's give bar now. But the problem is that article. Okay, section, I forgot to close it. Now inside, let's give it here. Go to the style, and inside the now only you have to give float left. Okay, just try to save it. This now should be below, right? So what you have to do after this now, you can directly give a BR, double BR. Still, I don't think our problem is solved. Okay, these two together became here, right? Inside this float left, but they should be one below the another, right? So now for the time being, I'm going to delete this. Okay. And now let's set it. Okay, so this now has got the width of 20%, width which is 20%. Okay, and now let's delete this one, and the nav 2. Okay, so now again let's refresh it and just see. So here you can directly give the width to be 100%. So it will be taking the width of the nav. Okay. you can directly give like 100%, and here also you can give like, so now here also I am going to give the width to be 100% itself. Okay, so now here you can directly go and paste what we have copied it before, just to make it look beautiful. Only I did this, okay, because all together while doing I think you won't be able to get it. Okay, so now it's okay. So now what we have to give is, let's give it to be 75% with a padding of 30px. Just see what happens. Okay, it's much bigger. So what you have to do is, let's change it to 73% and just see how it looks like. Okay, it's not looking good. Let's give it to be 70% itself, the width. Okay, now let's give the box shadow. Okay, so now again let's try to refresh it and just see how it will be looking like. Okay, you can give its height to be the height of this one itself. Okay, so now let's give the height which is to be like, let's see here, let's take it to be O2. Okay, so now this is the first article, right? So I'll give here as, this should be another article inside which you are going to give. Okay, another article, let's give it to be bar article, and let's give it to be class A1. Okay, class A1. Got it? So now again let's try to refresh it. So this article we can just save it like dot A1, and now let's refresh it, because again we are going to have another article. Okay, that's the reason why I did like this. Okay, so here what we are going to do, again below you are going to write about, which is known as the article A2, where you are going to write about your best friends. Okay, so let's give this inside the H3 tag, bar H3. Let's see how it looks like. This is the A2. So now again you have to give a code for A2, right? Let's directly copy it and paste it here for A2. Now let's just give like refresh and save and just see how it looks like. Okay, but it has got no spaces. So what you have to do, you have to give margin top, which is still to be 10px. Now you can change this color, background color, to be the seashell. Let's see that. Okay, got it, right? So now again you can write about your best friends here. Now let's write a P tag which states about your best friends. So here you are going to write about a composition about friendship. Okay, so all these things I think in the school you have studied, right? So directly what you can do is, you can just copy it and paste it. Okay. Okay, this is not a good composition that I got. About friend or about friends. Okay. So here you have got an essay. So I am directly going to copy it and just paste it here. So now let's refresh it and save it and just see how this looks like. Okay, so this looks good. Now again in the navigational bar on this left side we are going to write about your hobbies. Okay, so here in this hobbies, what you can do, you can directly copy it, paste it as nav3 with something known as my friends or my hobbies, right? So now let's first write it to be traveling, jumping, singing and dancing. Okay, so now let's see how this looks like. So here you can see that it looks like this. So again go to your style, copy the nav2 style directly for nav3 and just change the color. Okay, so I'll be choosing, we have already chosen I'll choose the ivory color. Now let's save it and just refresh it to see how it looks like. Okay, so now this is all about your personal website. So I hope you guys like this video. So if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press the bell button. So see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.